Ho, 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 ho. It's the Christmas Catalogue Countdown.
Hello and welcome to the first edition of the Christmas Catalogue Countdown for 2025. And on the table today is a Beatties Christmas catalogue from Christmas 1995. So what's that, 30 years ago? Let's have a look and see what was in the toy catalogues in that year. I'm spotting straight away on the front cover Power Rangers. Obviously that was a big thing in the mid to the early to mid 90s. Obviously PlayStation had just come out, but we got some staple things. Obviously Barbie, Monopoly. Is that Baywatch Barbie? We'll see if we can find her later in the catalogue. So let's jump right in. Oh no, before we go, includes virtual reality for free. I wonder what that is. I'll have to go and find out and see what that's all about in the catalogue. I think, as we've seen before in other editions of the Christmas Catalogue Countdown, it obviously starts out with the younger kids stuff to begin with. First thing that pops out is a perfect photo camera for $15.99. Includes batteries and film. Now, originally when I saw that, I thought, oh, I wonder if that's a digital camera, but I think we're a bit too early for digital cameras at this stage. But you can see the design and how that's kind of shifted for the digital cameras you see in shops today. The old Big Red Fun Bus appears again. If you've seen my previous videos, you know this is a staple of the Christmas Catalogue Countdown. This price now is $24.99 in 1995. Playmobil, still going strong today. Some nice little sets there. I quite like the McLaren's Goldmine set up here, $27.99. That's quite cool. Jibber Jabbers. I remember the Jibber Jabbers, and you used to wobble them, and they used to make that funny noise. I'm surprised they've not made a comeback, because they're quite a quirky toy that you would expect to come back with kind of the retro kind of nostalgia kind of stuff we get with toys today. Barbie, right, where's Baywatch Barbie? There she is. It is actually an official Baywatch Barbie with official Baywatch beachwear, say that when you're drunk, and the red swimsuit to complete with Dolphin Friend for £12.98. There you go, folks. Cindy, more Barbie stuff. Pocahontas. Guessing that was the film of the year, one of the films. Obviously Disney. Pocahontas. Polly Pocket, lots of Polly Pocket stuff, which is cool. The Clever Cook Oven, $37.99. I always wanted something like that when I was a kid. Awesome. Right, we're moving out of the kind of the younger kids and, in inverted commas, girls' toys. Am I allowed to say that these days? And we're moving into more science and stuff like that. Telescopes, microscopes, chemistry set for $16.99. You still get all these stuff today, don't you? And this kind of arts and crafts stuff. So it's quite nice to see that it was still around 30 odd years ago. Lego. Oh no, wait, is that Meccano? Kinects? When did Kinect start? That's an interesting question, because that was kind of all the range I remember in the mid 90s. And certainly it became a bit of a fad, but Meccano's been around since year dot. And then we're into Lego now. Probably everything you're seeing on here is probably worth hundreds of pounds nowadays. Space Shuttle Launch Pad, $39.99. That's quite cool. I like that one. Don't think I've ever seen that before. Coast Guard HQ, $25.99. These are similar to stuff we're getting today. Awesome. Alright, so let's keep moving. Ooh. Power Rangers. Here we go. So where are we in the Power Rangers stuff? White Tiger Zords, so we kind of know where we are in the lineage of Power Rangers. I saw a Saber Talking Saber at a toy fair 2 or 3 years ago, and it certainly wasn't $17.99. It was, we're talking 40-50 quid of today's money. Zoids, or Zoids 2. Interesting. I didn't know they did a Zoids 2. Obviously, Zoids, I'm thinking late 80s, early 90s, but I didn't know they extended this far into the 90s. Then we've got on this side Star Trek Next Generation, loads of stuff. Again, I never had any of these when I was a kid. I think I didn't start watching Star Trek until a bit later. But we've got the talking figures, Enterprise set. Yeah, some nice little things here. Got the Space Precinct. I remember the TV show. We watched that. It was on BBC Two. I think it was in the same slot actually as Star Trek, which is quite good. I'm spotting the Sega Lock-On single pack, $24.99. These were always wanted one of those. And then right down here, Reboot action figures. That's a favourite of the channel. We've done reviews of Reboot before. $5.99 each. I certainly didn't pay $5.99 for the figures I've got, but I've got all those. In fact, yeah, they're all the ones I've got. That's quite cool. Right, more action figure stuff. Action Man, yeah, because Action Man had a big resurgence in the early 90s with kind of a new line and stuff like that. And it's kind of reminiscent here. You've got RoboCop. Kids' toys of RoboCop. I know, there was that in Rambo, wasn't it? Micro Machines. Biker Mice from Mars. Oh, that's some cool stuff on here. Is that Batman? Looks Batman movie Batmobile, and that's Batman Forever, isn't it? Number 1, $24.99. Got some Spider-Man, cool Spider-Man stuff, because of course the cartoon was out in the mid-90s. I remember that. Stretch Armstrong, $14.99. But I bet the plastic on that kind of degrades over time. Mini Mutants, don't know what that is, but I'm guessing it was a knockoff of Mighty Max, because they're the big ones. Skullmaster, $24.99. I've seen that go for big money recently online. Now, where are we now? Still action figure stuff. Cowboy set. Surprise, I saw a cowboy set in Smith Toys only last weekend. $19.99 there. You think with all the thing about guns, you won't be able to get a gun like that these days, but you do. Britain's Farm set, still going strong. Over here we're into models and stuff now, aren't we? So kind of the Corgi stuff and some random rocket sets. Interesting. And yep, as expected, we're moving into scale extras. Various different sets here. I think I had the Monaco set, $44.99, something like that. I can't remember. I had scale extras for a bit, but I have to admit it was a bit boring. No offense to any scale extras fans. Remote control cars, yeah, we're following the same pattern as previous catalogues now. Some nice ones here though. They look pretty cool. Some of the rally cars. What's the prices we're looking at here? $179.99 for a Ford Mondeo. Whoa, $209.99 for the Opel Calibra. Nice. I don't know how much of that is in real money. And then we are into Airfix. Never a big fan of Airfix as a kid because you had to build it. I had no patience. I like this though, a flying wing. That was obviously the XB35, $25.99. And there's Enterprise display. That's quite cool. And I bet you model trains are coming. Hey, it's like I wrote this catalogue. Hornby model trains, as always, really cool. C225 kind of dates it for the 90s. And then speaking of date of the 90s, we've got skateboard. I had one like that. Not those colours, but the same size, $9.99. And then we're rolling into board games, I'm guessing. What cool board games we've got? We'll come to that in a minute. We've got Labyrinth board game. Never heard of that one. Some of the stuff I'm seeing is the same. Buckaroo. Pop-Up Pirates. Yeah, there's Dream Phone. $29.99. I remember seeing that advertised. Oh, dear. Then, of course, we've got Atmosphere. I didn't have Atmosphere, but I did have the Star Trek VHS game, which was awesome. But, yeah, Atmosphere, I think it had a different name in the States, was kind of like groundbreaking at the time. Uno Stacco. It's like an Uno version of Jenga. That is just random. I've never, ever heard of that. And also Uno Rummy. Never heard of that either. Random. There you go. Learned something today. And Coronation Street game. Check out future videos on the channel where we talk a lot about Coronation Street. No spoilers. kind of enter the R Zone Batman Forever. Step into the world of Batman. World of crime busting requires 4 AAA batteries. Some kind of like AR HUD display. I want to know what that is. I'm going to go search that out after this video to find out what that is. And then we jump over to here we go. Virtual reality PlayStation deal. PlayStation Rid Rage, the action replay speaker. So action replay. Sorry, 25 watt speakers. Extra gamepad, $399.95. Interesting. Sega Saturn, $299.97. Mega Drive still advertised, obviously, because we're in transition. More virtual reality stuff. Sound cards. That's interesting. For a PC. I often see that in these kind of catalogues. And there we got at the end. How to order. Mail order. No internet, folks. Phone, fax, post, and you could also order some Energizer batteries. Yeah, at least they admit to that. They always needed batteries on Christmas Day. Right, there we have it, folks. There is the Beatties 1995 catalogue. We just end it on all the locations they had around the country back in 1995. What do you think? Let me know in the comments below if you spot anything you always wanted for Christmas but didn't get, or some of the toys that you had when you were kids, because I'd love to know what you thought about them. I'll be back soon with another Christmas catalogue countdown for 2025. Until next time, cheerio for now. Bye bye.